Are you considering moving to Redmond, Oregon here in the near future? Maybe it's for a new job, or maybe you're looking to retire into a small town community that has so many amenities, checking off so many different retirement boxes that are important to you. Whatever the reason is for your relocation, consider this video your ultimate relocation guide as it pertains to moving to Redmond, Oregon. We'll be discussing all things that are important, like what's downtown Redmond like today versus where it was 15 years ago and beyond. Super important information. What are some of the neighborhoods like in Redmond right now, and where are the values of the homes as they compare to other areas of Central Oregon, like maybe Bend? What's the cost of living difference between Redmond and Bend right now? All very important key pieces of information as you make your decision. We'll be discussing all of these things and more in this video right now, so stick around. And if you do have any questions, you can see my information is scattered everywhere on this channel as well as on this video, so please don't hesitate to reach out with any type of question as it relates to relocating to Redmond or somewhere else here in Central Oregon. So you're thinking about moving to Redmond, Oregon. So you're thinking about moving to Bend or maybe Redmond, Oregon, or somewhere else here in Central Oregon, and you want to learn more of the lay of the land. Today we're going to be in downtown Redmond. Okay, we're in Redmond downtown today. We're going to be checking it out, just doing kind of a vlog style tour, giving you guys a full vlog style tour of what downtown Redmond's all about, the second largest town in Deschutes County. Redmond is a town of 36,000 people, second largest town in Deschutes County, and it has a fantastic little downtown here. The Highway 97, that's the main artery through Deschutes County, has actually been relocated to our left about 1,000 feet, so there's a bypass that goes around downtown. It used to go right through. It used to come right through downtown. So the big old semi trucks that were going from the north part of Oregon all the way down to California, they would have to come right through downtown. It didn't make it very nice for some of the businesses that were trying to operate here. But since then, about 10 years ago, it's been relocated to our left. And so now we have a much more traditional style downtown with all kinds of shops, restaurants, more of a traditional style downtown, and with that comes a bunch of mom and pop style boutique businesses, giving the area a ton of character and pizzazz, things like that. Very up and coming. It's a fantastic little spot to come spend some time.
We're kind of at the northern part of downtown. There's a little bit more up there, but it's mostly banks and different stuff, so it's kind of the first stop on our journey. This is the Vault Tap House. It's a local brewery. Cobalt Brewery is the brewery inside, and then you've got a couple of food trucks here. You've got some fire pits. Really cool little spot, local spot downtown. So downtown Redmond used to be a ghost town. You know, that's kind of the theme for Bend was similar, and there wasn't a lot of commerce and a lot of great restaurants because, like Ryan alluded to, the highway went straight through here. So this was bumper to bumper traffic. It was really hard. You can tell there's already still quite a bit of traffic that goes down here, but this is mostly all localized traffic.
This is 6th Street we're on right now, and probably goes for a half a mile from where we're standing. And we get into the primary part of downtown here real soon, but you can see the traffic's coming behind us. It's a one-way street. We have 5th Street over there, a block away. It goes the other direction to the north, and it's just full of all kinds of little businesses now, and it's really given Redmond kind of a star on the map over the last 10 to 12 years as things have evolved down here in the downtown area. It used to be Bend. Bend had the downtown area, but Redmond finally is catching up, and it's nice to say finally because it didn't have this type of charm for such a long time.
There is a theater down here. There's some of the best restaurants in Central Oregon downtown. You have Carnival, you've got Diego's, Oshi, Sushi,
Brick House.
Yeah, the Brick House. Really good restaurants. Some people will come from Bend to come eat here. So they've really revitalized it. They've redone a lot of the buildings. There's a ton of little shops and everything else in here. Downtown Redmond has really become a fun, vibrant place here in Central Oregon.
So as of this recording right now, it's mid-March, and it's about 60 degrees outside. We're sitting at 3,000 feet in elevation as opposed to 3,600 up in Bend, about 15 miles to the north. So it gets a little bit warmer here. And so on these early spring days when the sun comes out, it is absolutely awesome to be outside enjoying what downtown Redmond has to offer. Like we talked about earlier, there's about 36,000 people in Redmond right now. It's a very booming town. I mean, it's growing as fast as Bend, maybe even faster. And right now, as of this recording, the median home price is about $510,000. So $200,000 or so less than Bend.
This used to be Highway 97. This is how you got from Portland to Bend if you wanted to. You had to come through here. So there were semis through here all the time. They bypassed it. It really changed the dynamic of downtown. I want to point this place out real quick. So this is Odom Theater Pub. So they have, it's a little like boutique movie theater that has beer, food, and they show all kinds of great movies. It's a really neat little theater. They have down here, they have workout facilities. There's the Odom Theater, which is a really small kind of vintage theater where they have movies and different stuff like that. You've got tattoo shops, you've got a candy shop. There's so much stuff down here, but the thing that we really want to show you is what they did for this hotel. Here, this is the old hotel in Redmond. They've completely remodeled it. It's actually absolutely gorgeous. When you go in there, you feel like you're in a big city. They did a great job. And then on the rooftop, they have a beautiful bar with huge sweeping mountain views. In the summertime, it's one of the absolute best places to grab a drink, hang out. It's wonderful. We absolutely love that location. If you get a chance to check that out, I would absolutely recommend it. Every time I come down here, there's more food, more shops. Like this place is really growing and becoming an awesome place to hang out.
Very vibrant. Yeah, it's been developed over the last several years, and it's become a very hotbed for business. And Redmond actually is very business friendly, small business friendly. The city of Redmond really tries to accommodate anybody that tries to come in here, bring a concept. And like Bend, there's a lot of people that relocate to Central Oregon and ultimately choose Redmond as opposed to Bend or somewhere else. And they discover Redmond after coming to Bend first, or maybe Sun River. But after looking through Redmond a little bit, they decide, wow, this is actually a great spot as well. And ultimately they decide that this is the better fit, because Bend and Redmond are two different style cultures of towns, even though they're so close together. But Redmond has a lot that they bring to the table that maybe Bend even doesn't have themselves. As we continue on, we're approaching Deschutes Avenue. And this is kind of getting into the main part of the downtown area. There's a famous arch up here. We'll walk underneath here shortly, show you guys what that looks like. But we're coming up on some other great little mom and pop style businesses. We're going to be approaching the Brick House, which is kind of a famous steakhouse here in the Redmond area. There's also one in Bend. We've also got some food truck lots that are just off the beaten path of downtown. There's General Duffy's. There's also the Blacksmith. And then behind us, you have Otto's Landing. That's kind of a big trend in Central Oregon right now, these food truck style lots.
We show them the arch here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming up on this arch here. We'll just turn around, show you guys what that looks like. Yeah, so all the cars go underneath it there. Kind of a staple here in Redmond, a landmark.
You can see the little logo, the Redmond logo. They call it the hub. So we've got the airport here. A little closer to Portland than Bend. You're 20 minutes closer to Portland if that's important to you. A lot of things happening here. They're working on developing a huge sports complex out by the airport. There's a couple great golf courses in Redmond as well. You're real close to Brasada here. There's just a lot going on. I didn't know Ida's Cupcakes is here now.
Ida's Cupcakes.
Ida's Cupcakes.
We're coming up on Diego's Spirited Kitchen, one of the more famous Mexican places in Redmond here too. You can see people here. It's just a Thursday afternoon right now at about 3 o'clock, and it's actually, there's got quite a bit of activity down here right now. Pretty cool.
Got a Hit Logic here. Ryan, can you get in there and get a workout in real quick?
Perhaps you could too, right?
Some of the things Ryan and I were talking about when we were heading this way were the views in Redmond. They have some of the most amazing views here. Bend's known for having huge mountain views and everything like that, but we have some of the best views right here in Redmond. They also have the Dry Canyon. which is really cool. How many miles of trail?
It's like
Dry Canyon?
3 miles long.
So it's this little dry canyon right in the middle of town that kind of divides the town. And on either side, there's a lot of homes that sit right on the canyon. The ones that are on the east side of the canyon facing west have beautiful mountain views. And then the houses on the west facing the east have great canyon views. But the dry canyon's a huge perk of being here in Redmond. Also, you have the airport. So Central Oregon's commercial airport is based in Redmond. It's on the south end of Redmond. It's about 15 minutes from Bend.
It's kind of the centerpiece with the airport here, with the fairgrounds here, being in close proximity to, say, Portland, a little bit closer, a little bit lower elevation. We get a little bit less snow here.
Direct flights to Seattle, Denver, LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, Arizona, and that list keeps growing as the airport is growing, as the towns are growing. So a lot of people have been able to relocate here. They have a remote job, but they have to check in once a month or once every couple weeks.
So we are actually going southbound on 6th Street now. What we're going to do is take a left here and show you guys what downtown Redmond going northbound on 5th Street looks like. So we'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, now we're heading north. We're walking. We're on 5th Street. This is the other one-way road in downtown Redmond. And like we talked about earlier, there's all kinds of businesses down here. A lot of traffic you can see on a day like today. It's Friday. But there are food truck lots around here. There's General Duffy's to our right. Wild Ride Brewing is a very popular brewery with food trucks as well. It's up here ahead on the right-hand side. Redmond really is taking a stand and making it its own little town, separate from Bend, but still a lot in common. People in general they live in Redmond, they love it here. A lot of times they have to commute to Bend for certain amenities and services that Redmond doesn't otherwise have. But as Redmond continues to grow, it's becoming one of those towns where they offer everything that you need. Zach touched on the fact that the airport is here. We also have the Deschutes County Fairgrounds. So Redmond kind of is the center of Central Oregon in some ways.
So at the fairgrounds, for a long time, our fairgrounds, I feel like, have been underutilized. We have a great fair, a rodeo during the fair. We have some concerts out there. For years, I don't feel like they've utilized that space very well. Our fairgrounds are fantastic. They're huge, beautiful buildings. In the last couple of years, they've started doing a lot more festivals and stuff. And we had a festival this last summer that was like folk country music. There was probably 40,000 people there daily. Maybe that might be an exaggeration. It may have been like 10 to 20, but it felt like 40,000 people. And then there was another festival they had that was more of like an EDM type deal. And I know the folk festival is coming back again this year. And I think they're going to continue to utilize that space more and more. So we're going to continue to get more events, more festivals, more stuff at the fairgrounds, because it's such a beautiful space that just has been really underutilized. But that is right here, right next to the airport. Redmond has some of the best amenities. How far are we from Mount Bachelor?
We're probably a 45 minute drive. Yeah, so it's going to be closer to Bend, but you have to go through Bend to get there. But it's about a 45-minute drive or so.
So how many people would, that's so close compared to where a lot of people live. They got to go hours to get to the mountain.
Man.
So I don't feel like if you move to Redmond that you can't enjoy the experience of the mountain. You're still only 45, 50 minutes away from the 6th largest ski resort in the world.
Yeah, plus we're also
North America, sorry.
We're also in relatively close proximity to our other ski resort, which is Hoodoo, and that's up on the San Am Pass, and it's probably a little bit more accessible in Redmond or from Redmond than it is from Bend, and you drive through Sisters to get there.
I don't know if we've talked about Redmond home pricing compared to Bend in this video, but typically the prices of homes in Redmond typically sit about no. Not think she was going to make that turn. All right, so we were talking about home pricing. So home pricing in Redmond typically is about $200,000 less than what you can anticipate in Bend if you were looking at apples to apples in comparison to homes, locations, things like that. So a house that you'll find in Bend for $800,000 usually will be somewhere around $600,000 here, if all things are equal. But I really enjoy it down here. It's it's a great little.
It's pretty lively.
It is lively. See a lot of. We're kind of at rush hour right now. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. Yep. So you're seeing a lot of cars coming through. We are almost end of January, so we are in the doldrums of winter here. We're not in puffy jackets right now. We've had probably 2 weeks of daytime temperatures anywhere from high 40s to the low 60s. In Central Oregon. It's been amazing, and we're getting great temperatures. And I mean, I'm sure there's people that golfed the last couple of weeks here in Redmond. Redmond's temperatures, because of their elevation difference from Bend, it's a slight elevation difference, but temperatures are typically a little warmer here. They get a little less snow here. So a lot of, if you want to golf, Juniper Golf Course or Eagle Crest typically will have options for golfing when a lot of courses in Bend are closed. So there's a lot of perks to Redmond. It's also, I think it's a great opportunity where there's so much growth happening, where if you're in a little bit lower price point, you can get more house and a big opportunity for growth down the road.
Hey, if you guys are getting ready to jump into the market in some capacity, whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're doing a combination of the two in the near future here in Central Oregon, and you don't have a realtor lined up yet, please reach out to me. We would love to be the ones that help you with that transaction. But it starts with you guys calling us or texting us. You can see the phone number right there. It's all across the channel as well. Give us a call or shoot us a text. We'll get that initial conversation on the calendar so then we can figure out what the next course of action should be pertaining to your real estate transaction. Thank you guys for watching these videos. And now on to today's content. With this video, we're going to be jumping into, say, the cost comparative analysis, say, of what it's like to live in Bend, what it costs to live in Bend, what the median home price is, versus what the cost of living, say, would be in these other towns, because there's different personalities with these towns, there's different cultures with these towns, and there are different prices associated with living in these towns. But like we said earlier, everything is a constant when you're in Central Oregon. So with that being said, Bend will be the baseline for what we're comparing living in these other towns to, so you can get a better understanding. Because you already know about Central Oregon, you already know you want to be here. Let's just find you the right town. So we're going to start first with the second biggest town in Central Oregon, which is Redmond, and is often the most compared town to Bend because it's like big brother, little brother status. But Redmond is really starting to close the gap on Bend with a lot of different things. But we're going to just compare the cost of living right now. So we're going to start with Redmond. Now, before we go too far down the Bend versus Redmond rabbit hole as it relates to cost of living, let's just talk about Deschutes County as a whole for a second. Right now, we've got 215,000 people living in the county. By 2045, it's been said that we could have up to 340,000 people living in Deschutes County alone, an increase of 125,000 people within just a 20-year window. That is remarkable. Where are these people going to live? Certainly, a lot of them are going to live in Bend, but there's going to be plentiful amounts that are living in Sisters, living in Lapine, and living in, of course, Redmond. Now, Redmond is a very fast-growing town. It has its own culture, its own personality compared to Bend. It's often viewed as kind of like the little brother to Bend, but, you know, Redmond folk don't like hearing that. They are their own person. They are their own vibe, their own culture. That's for darn sure. About 40,000 or just under 40,000 people live in Redmond. It's often referred to as the hub of Central Oregon because the fairgrounds are there. The airport is there. It's close to Smith Rock State Park, which is probably among the most popular state parks in the area, attracting almost 1 million people a year to Smith Rock State Park, which is just north of Redmond. But the median price for a single family home in Redmond generally right now is about 525,000. It's been over 500 grand for a significant period of time, but 525 is a good baseline. And you compare that to Bend, same home, same style, is going to be roughly 750,000. So you're looking at a $225,000 difference in housing alone. And these towns are only about 15 miles apart from each other, and they're both growing at a very, very rapid clip. But again, the hub of Central Oregon, the airport, the fairgrounds, again, there are many amenities in the Redmond area that are more accessible to the city of Redmond than, say, in Bend. What I said earlier in the video, it's like, doesn't matter where you are in Central Oregon, you can access everything. But Redmond has a convenience factor that Bend doesn't necessarily have for many things. Now, if you compare the other costs of living, say food, groceries, beverages, utilities to run the home, things like that, taxes, I mean, it's all going to be relatively similar as Bend. I mean, the big elephant in the room is going to be the housing aspect of it. But again, Redmond is growing at a rate that is really starting to attract a lot of people that are coming from larger cities that are maybe afraid of living in too small of a town. So that's an interesting thing that's going on right now with Redmond as opposed to Bend, because Bend kind of crossed that threshold where people from the big city are now comfortable living in Bend because, you know, it feels like a very small town to them, but it's also busy enough to kind of keep their mind going because of the fast pace of life that they're used to in their previous town that they were living in. Now, if we just try to give a generality in terms of the cost of living, Redmond versus Bend. Say Bend, if you made $100,000 in Bend, you'd have to make roughly 85 to 86,000 in Redmond to be kind of equal, if that makes sense, right? So that's kind of the difference in cost of living. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the median income for a household in Bend is roughly 88,000 as of this recording. And so that makes the affordability aspect of living and purchasing a home in Bend very, very difficult. There's a very small percentage of people that can do that right now based off of that income alone. And so they could be looking elsewhere. But again, if you're making 100,000 in Bend, you'd be making roughly 86,000 in Redmond to be basically even keeled. Let you guys in on a little secret today. The best views in Central Oregon are not in Bend, but rather to the west of Redmond by about 5 miles. We're in Eagle Crest Resort today on the very far west edge of the resort in the Ridge subdivision. And we're at the foothills of Klein Butte. It's right in front of me here. Behind me, you're going to see panoramic views of the Cascade Mountains. Those are the Three Sisters right behind me there. So envision yourself living on a slope, looking to the west and seeing these mountains as your backdrop on a daily basis. Today's a real treat. We're going to be touring this subdivision here. This is the Ridge subdivision, the very west edge of the Ridge here in Eagle Crest. Now, Eagle Crest is about 5 miles to the west of Redmond. It's a resort-style community that encompasses 1,500 different single-family homes and residences. Some are townhomes, but there are over 1,000 people, maybe close to 2, maybe 3,000 people that actually call Eagle Crest home year-round. And it's just off the beaten path from Redmond by about 5 miles. It's about 10 miles or so to the north of Bend, but it's just this absolutely stunning resort-style community that's made up of multiple subdivisions. There are 3 different golf courses. There is a big resort area with a hotel. There are multiple pool areas, sports centers, complexes, things of that nature. There's a full-service spa as well. But the homes that we want to highlight today in the West Ridge area of Eagle Crest is what this video is all about, because I love a great mountain view and I love watching the sun go over the Cascade Mountains on a nightly basis, especially in the summertime. So you're not going to get better views anywhere in Central Oregon than right here at the west edge base of Klein Butte, and that's where we're
we're at right now. If I pan around here, you can see a home just above me there, and then you can see how the actual butte itself slopes up. And so there's hiking trails that lead up to the top of Klein Butte. But what we're going to do today is drive around this neighborhood and just talk about the amenities of the West Ridge area of Eagle Crest, because these homes, I have to admit, I have not spent a lot of time in this particular area of Eagle Crest. I played the golf courses for years and years, but this particular area is kind of hidden, kind of off the beaten path, and you get an absolute stunning location when you finally find where this particular area is. So what we're going to do now is just hop in the car. We're going to drive all around, show you guys what these homes are all made up of, because there are hundreds of single family homes up on the slope of this butte, as well as hundreds of townhomes all within this small area of Eagle Crest. So let's hop in the car right now and go check things out. Love this area here. This is a off the beaten path subdivision within Eagle Crest. Not a lot of people in Central Oregon know about this particular area here. We're on the west edge of Klein Butte, which goes all the way up to 4,200 feet. We're probably traversing right now at about 3,000 feet. So a little bit higher than, say, the base layer elevation of Eagle Crest, which is about 2,500 feet. But we are high enough up to where we get these absolutely panoramic views of the mountains looking onto the west. And all these homes, I mean, we're looking at custom built homes ranging from 2,500 square feet all the way up to maybe 4,000 or just a smidge above 4,000 feet. And price points are actually pretty competitive. What's interesting about this area is you get the same views of the mountains on Klein Butte as you would on Aubrey Butte and Bend. And so price points up on Aubrey Butte are going to range anywhere from 2 to maybe up to 5 million. Here, I think the highest selling home in the last year is 1.5 million. And so right now, median price for this particular area is probably going to be looking at like 1.2 million dollars in that range. So there's a huge value if you like to have a custom home built in a community, resort style community that's just 5 miles to the west of Redmond. And you're close to the airport, you're close to shopping, you're close to Bend, 10 miles from Bend, because Eagle Crest is kind of in between Bend and Redmond on the old Bend-Redmond highway. So it's off the beaten path. Not a lot of people know about it from a living full-time standpoint, but plenty of people know about it from a visiting as a resort guest standpoint. The house we're coming by right now, this one's listed right now for 1.35. You can see, let's pan over there real quick. 4 beds, 3 bath, 2,700 square feet, or give or take, and it's been sitting on the market for a little while, but it's a fantastic home with a great view that's off the beaten path of, say, all the other hustle and bustle of Eagle Crest, because it's a very busy resort, especially in the summertime. But we're in the very back edge of it, where not a lot of visitors are going to come and drive by, and there's not a lot to do outside of just hanging out by the Lakeside Sports Complex, which we'll go by here in a little bit. But right now, there's probably 8 homes on the market in this particular area of Eagle Crest, and they range from, say, 800,000 all the way up to 1.4. So that's going to be the house we just looked at. It's going to be on the higher end of price points for homes right now. But if we just pan over here, I mean, you get these stunning views of the mountains, and they're right up in your face. So imagine just having that on as your backdrop every night for summertime. Pretty fantastic. So what we'll do now is we'll go check out like the townhome area, because there's several hundred townhomes within this particular area as well. That's kind of like the makeup of this subdivision. Going to be custom built single family homes, and then you're going to have a collection of townhomes that all range right around 18 to 1,900 square feet, and they are 3-bed, 2.5 bath townhomes, and they are absolutely fantastic too. More of a community style feel over there near the Lakeside Sports Complex. So let's hop back in the car, we'll drive around a little bit more, and we'll go check out that complex as well as the townhomes that are nearby. Okay, check this out. I'm down the slope of Klein Butte, a little bit more flat now. Maybe I can catch my breath when I'm talking to you guys. But we are at the Lakeside Sports Complex right now. And so we're just gonna zip through it a little bit, show you guys what it looks like, the landscape of everything. There's an outdoor swimming pool. There's a basketball hoop right there behind me. There's a big old lake back there behind me. You might be able to see the tennis courts slash pickleball courts, because that's all the big trend right now. Everybody loves to play pickleball, especially here in Central Oregon. But we've got these paths here that we are zipping along on, and it's right near a collection of all the townhomes that are going to be in the market right now. There's probably 10 of them on the market right now. There's probably 10 or 12 that have sold so far in the last year, and they're all kind of the same in terms of their makeup, right? They're 3-bed, 2.5 bath, and they're going to be about 1,850 to 1,900 square feet, but price ranges fluctuate. That's what's so interesting about it. Like the collection of townhomes, they're all within the same general area here as we are traversing on this amazing path here, where we have a little creek to my left. We're about to come up on some of these townhomes to the right, but they sell for different prices, obviously, right? Because there's different fluctuations within the market, but they're all kind of the same floor plan. If I pan over here, you might be able to see what they look like a little bit in the shadows. That's the back side of them there. But you have this community that you can just kind of traverse through and enjoy your life at the northwest edge of Klein Butte now, as we are a little bit further north, a little bit flatter. And on my way down, I drove down from the top of the butte where all the big custom homes were built. We went through a smaller single family home neighborhood where there are a little bit more let's see, average size homes, right? So we're talking like 1,500 square feet all the way up to maybe 2,200 square feet. A lot of them are single level, but they are fantastic too. Those probably go in the range of say $600 up to $900,000. These townhomes right now that we are zipping through here, this is the collection of townhomes. They're basically in quadrants, right? So there's a building with 4 townhomes, and then the next building, they're all in 4s. They range in price from say low 5s, like 510, 520, and they go all the way up to say high 6s, depending on the state of the market, where they're at, maybe some of the custom features within each floor plan. But what you can see here as we're kind of making our way through the path is just this incredible landscape. The creek's on, and it's just beautiful right now. It's early June, and it's just a wonderful day. There's people out and about. They're enjoying the outdoor life that Eagle Crest has to offer. I'm telling you, you guys could come here, check it out. I mean, you'd probably spend days on campus of Eagle Crest without having to leave, because there's so much to do. Whether it's the pools, there's multiple swimming pools, there's multiple sports complexes, there's 3 different golf courses. Of course, you might get a little cabin fever if you're stuck here for too long, but then you can just drive somewhere else in Central Oregon. We talk about like that triangle of Sisters Bend and Redmond, and Eagle Crest is right in the middle of it. That's where the majority of the population lives here in Deschutes County. And so you're right in the thick of everything. You wanted to hike up Klein Butte, it's right to my left there. It goes up about 4,200 feet. That's a great day hike. Do that in the morning before it gets too hot. Then come down and check out the pool scene, check out the pickleball scene, maybe play an evening golf round, and you're all within the Eagle Crest property doing all that in a single day. So pretty remarkable. You can see here, just showing you guys what it all looks like. But this is the West Ridge part of Eagle Crest right now, the subdivision, and it's the newest phase of the entire Eagle Crest resort. Eagle Crest itself broke ground back in 1985, so it's over 30 years old, closer to 40 years old actually. I'm almost 40. But yeah, so you can see here that it was built out in phases, and this is the newest phase of the Eagle Crest resort here. So a lot of the homes, again, built in the last 2 or 3 years, and that's what makes it so unique. So we're gonna end the tour today, probably going by the lake behind me that we showed you a little bit of, but just to give you a feel for what's going on here in Eagle Crest. So I'm gonna go back the other way, and I will see you guys at that big old lake here. We'll wrap the video up. So we're zipping over here. We're right by the Lakeside Sports Complex. You can see the pool over there. People are out there enjoying the pool today. It's early June, about 72 degrees. Not too hot, not too cold, just the perfect temperature for this time of year. There's a splash pad over there too. You see it? It's pretty cool. There's a great fitness facility inside. The pickleball courts are behind me. The basketball court is nearby. The golf courses are this way probably about a mile or so. The main resort is about this way, about a mile. Redmond straight ahead too, about 5 miles. If I pan over here, you can see that big old lake. Pretty cool lake there. And then that's the north slope of Klein Butte, where you can see some of those homes that are starting to trek their way up the slope. And so that's where you get those fantastic mountain views. The homes that we were looking at earlier are to my left as you wrap around the west facing edge of that butte. So just wanted to give you guys that perspective and show you guys what this particular off the beaten path resort style living is all about, because this isn't Sun River, it's not Brasada Ranch, it's Eagle Crest, and it's the back edge of Eagle Crest where not a lot of people know about. So we are in the Dry Canyon right now, the very south edge of the Dry Canyon, which is called Sam Johnson Park. But like we talked about in the intro, it's a 3.7 mile long circuit. It goes right through the center. We'll show you some aerial coverage of what it looks like, but it just really is a remarkable little area here that Bend doesn't have, or anywhere else in Central Oregon doesn't have, frankly. And it's right here in the center of town. So it's been here for thousands of years, of course, but now, more recently, it's been repurposed. There's tennis courts, there's pickleball courts, there's a playground right here to our left that we're zipping by right now. There's all kinds of other amenities too, whether it's an off-leash dog park or several miles of hiking trails, biking trails, etc. And notably, from a real estate standpoint, there are houses that go up and down the canyon rim on each side, and they come onto the market every so often, and they're absolutely fantastic homes. But we want to touch on what this place is all about and how it relates to what Redmond is and what it's become, because Redmond is growing at the same rate that Bend is right now.
So this is kind of the centerpiece of Redmond. Some of the nicest homes in Redmond you'll find are on the canyon here. In the east side of the canyon, the homes on the east side of the canyon that sit right on it, a lot of them will have really great mountain views as well, because they're facing west. But all houses on the canyon have pretty fantastic views, and I'd say there's probably 400 homes plus on the canyon.
There's a fair amount for sure.
We helped a YouTube client buy a beautiful house on the canyon recently. They absolutely fell in love with it, but there's so many great houses on the canyon here. Where we're at right now, as far as proximity to different things in Central Oregon, we're 50 minutes to Mount Bachelor. We're 35 minutes to Hoodoo if you're into skiing. Redmond is where the commercial airport is located. So you're 5-10 minutes from the airport here at most. You're really close to downtown from where we're at right now, downtown Redmond. You're 20 minutes to Bend at most, 15-20 minutes to Bend. Quick out to Sisters if you want to go there. There's tons of golf in this area. Redmond is a really cool town that's emerging. They're downtown. It's probably been about 20 years ago now. They rerouted Highway 97 and built a parkway that kind of skirted outside of downtown. The main highway through Central Oregon used to go directly through downtown Redmond. And so downtown Redmond kind of lost its luster. There was so much traffic going in and out of there. They've really rebuilt that in the last 2 decades. There's amazing restaurants. They've got a small little movie theater. They have all kinds of little shops and bakeries and a brewery. And so downtown Redmond has evolved greatly and it's continuing to grow. Redmond's become a really, really cool place.
Yeah, Redmond population right now, about 37,000, maybe 38,000 people within the city limits. And there's several thousand people that live on the outskirts or just outside the city proper limits. And it's growing, like we talked about, just as fast as Bend is. Right now, the median home price in Redmond is about $525,000 and Bend is about $710,000. So there is an incredible value with living and choosing Redmond as opposed to Bend, because ultimately speaking, Central Oregon, right? You get the same access to all the outdoor amenities, and some are actually closer to Redmond than they are Bend, like Smith Rock State Park or Lake Billy Chinook or Prineville Reservoir or things of that nature. And so the point is like you can choose to live in Central Oregon wherever you see fit. If you're looking for value, Redmond could be the play for you, because we're going to continue growing at a very fast rate. Deschutes County has 225,000 people, and we're expecting to see 400,000 people in Deschutes County within the next 15 years. So it's a It's a choice that you have to make, whether it's Redmond or Bend, but Redmond is kind of the hub of everything. We have the Fairgrounds in Redmond as well, the Deschutes County Fairgrounds, and homes are going up like crazy over here as well. We're going to show you guys what some of these homes on the Dry Canyon Rim look like here shortly, but right now we're walking northbound and we're getting into the actual canyon itself. We're right at the very hub of it. And what you're going to see here over the next few minutes are all kinds of great looking homes as well as other amenities that sit within the Dry Canyon.
Some of the other awesome things you're going to find around here are there's a off-leash dog park. There's a disc golf course out here. We talked about the pickleball and the tennis courts. They're resurfacing those right now. They're going to be absolutely beautiful. You've got the playground, and there's, what'd you say, there's a 3.5 mile loop. You can see how big this whole facility is. It's really cool. So you've got a dog park, you got the West Canyon Rim Park, you've got the Maple Bridge arches, and it just goes for a long way. So dog park, Hope Playground, there's just a lot of, you got the Sam Johnson Park. So there's a ton of parks mixed in here. Really cool facility.
So we'll keep on zipping on this tour here. We'll show you guys what some of the homes look like here in just a moment. Okay, we just crossed Antler Avenue. We're a few hundred feet down from that little sign that had the map of everything that we were showing you guys all about. And now we're kind of in the more dedicated space of the Dry Canyon. So behind us here is going to be the disc golf course. And then we just passed 2 different dog parks. There's a small dog park and there's a big dog park. They're fenced, and that's where you can get your dog off their leash and they can zip around and stuff and get some exercise. But all kinds of different amenities within here. You can see to our left there's going to be a walking trail, a biking trail, etc., that goes all the way up and down the entire stretch of the Dry Canyon. So that is utilized on a daily basis by many people. As you can see, there's some people out here today. It's about 55 degrees right now, a little early in the morning, about 9 a.m. in late May, but we're in this part and stretch of the Dry Canyon now where homes are starting to pop up on both sides. And so what we're going to try and do now is give you guys an understanding of what those homes look like, because they do have fantastic views, whether they're looking to the east or if they're on the other side, this side that we're on right now, they're looking to the west, and some of them get pretty good mountain views.
We're also right in the disc golf course. So there's all kinds of baskets around here, which is really cool. A bunch of houses kind of look down upon this area, so it's a really neat space in town. You can see Smith Rock from where we're at right now. There's a ton of people that use this facility every day for recreation. So right now, what time is it? It's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Not that many people out right now. There is one dog out in the dog park right now, but it's pretty mellow out here. But a ton of people do use this space. Tons of area to zip around, enjoy the outdoors while you're right here in the middle of Redmond.
Yeah, so what we're doing now, we're kind of zipping along here, and homes are popping up everywhere in Redmond, and there are multiple subdivisions going in right now all around the town because they're trying to keep up with the demand the same way that Bend is. And what we're going to see here in just a second are some of these homes that are up on the ridge right here are a little older. They're probably built 20 years ago. And then as we go down northbound, what we're going to find there are newer subdivisions with newer construction, I should say, with homes that go all the way around the entire canyon. But it just gives people a unique perspective of a possibility of living right next to this fantastic recreational facility right here in the center of town.
And so homes on the canyon will range from $500,000 to, well over $1 million, depending on the home, the new construction, things like that, the views that you have. There are some phenomenal homes here on the Dry Canyon. This is the west side of the canyon that you're kind of seeing right now. On the other side over there, the east side of the canyon is where you're going to get a lot of the mountain views and the canyon views. So something else to note about Redmond. So Redmond, definitely compared to Bend, is much more of a high desert feel. So here you're going to see all the juniper trees and a lot fewer of the big ponderosa pines that you'll find in Bend, primarily the west side of Bend. So the more east you go, the more north you go, you get a lot more into these juniper trees. We do have the second largest juniper forest in Central Oregon.
Well, second largest in the world.
In the
right?
world, yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, but this is such a great facility. If you have, you got a lunch break, or you want to go out in the morning and cruise around on the trails, get some nature in before heading off to work, or at lunchtime, or in the evening, it's right here in town. Tons of people use this every day. We were really excited just to spotlight it for you guys. A lot of people don't even realize that all these amenities are here right in town.
Right now, it's late December. We just had Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. We're coming up on the new year right now. It's about 52 degrees out here in sunny Central Oregon, so it's pretty pleasant right now. We're going to be touring a fantastic subdivision in Southwest Redmond called Cascade View Estates. So if this video sounds like it's for you, learning about Redmond, Oregon, and the value of Redmond as opposed to Bend, stick around. We're going to be getting after this tour of Cascade View Estates here in Southwest Redmond right now. So like I said in the intro, we are in the dead of winter right now. The sun is up, it's low in the sky right now, but it's still warm out, bluebird sunshine. It's a beautiful day. We get a lot of days like this. We're in Redmond today, so the value proposition of Redmond as opposed to Bend is absolutely immense. We're in one of the primary neighborhoods here in Southwest Redmond. We're up on a hill right now, and if you look behind me, we've got panoramic views of the Cascade Mountains. Some would say the views in Redmond of the mountains are even better than the views of the mountains in Bend, and so you're going to get the value of great mountain views in Redmond at a discount price as opposed to the same mountain views being in Bend. And so what we're going to do here is just kind of tour this neighborhood. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Redmond. A lot of craftsman style homes, bigger homes here. The median price point for a home in Redmond right now is just around $500,000. And this is going to be one of the premier neighborhoods in Redmond. It's up on a hill here. We're in Southwest Redmond. A lot of new construction going on in this area, in this part of town. The new high school, Ridgeview High School, newer high school, I should say. It's about 5 years old. It is just down at the bottom of this hill. But ultimately here, what you're getting are panoramic views of the mountains in addition to a great neighborhood with well-kept houses. There is an HOA in Cascade View Estates, but ultimately you are getting incredible value. The same types of neighborhoods in Bend are going to be at a premium price point compared to where we're at right now, and you still have access to all the amazing outdoor amenities. Some would say they're even in closer proximity in terms of where they're located versus where they're at in Bend. Like Smith Rock State Park is nearby, the airport is nearby here, we've got our fairgrounds here in Redmond. And so this is something that can be said for people that choose Redmond over Bend. There is distinct advantages, and value is a key. This home here is for sale right now. It's 2,800 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath. It's listed at $750,000. Okay, if we were to go into Bend looking for a home in this type of neighborhood, in this type of size, built back in 2005, it would probably be listed at $1.2 million. And so what you're getting is the exact same type of feel in Redmond, a home similar size, similar scape for $750,000 as opposed to say what it would be at $1.2 million. So there are incredible advantages of living in choosing Redmond as opposed to Bend when it comes to just relocating to the Central Oregon area. And so we're going to keep on cruising around this neighborhood here to give you guys a feel for some of the neighborhood makeup of what this particular part of town is all about. Now, Redmond is a town of 36,000 people. It's 15 miles to the south of Bend, or to the north of Bend, excuse me. And it's kind of the major hub of Central Oregon because, like I talked about earlier, the Redmond Airport is located here. It's a very fast-growing community. There's a lot of relocations over here. Some would say that Redmond is growing even faster than Bend. But when it comes to value, this is the part of Central Oregon that is a little bit more of a secret, although there are plenty of people that are aware of the advantages of living in Redmond as opposed to living in Bend. A little bit slower pace of life here, if that's something that you're interested in. There are 2 high schools here, And it's just a great area. A lot of sunshine, a little bit lower in elevation too. So you're gonna get more sunshine, a little hotter days in the summertime, a little less snow accumulation in the wintertime. We still really haven't had too much snow yet this year. And as you can see, there's people out, they're walking right now, they're riding their bikes, they're walking their dogs. And it's a great day to be filming when the sun is up in the sky in the middle of winter, because there are a lot of people that ask us questions like, well, what's the winter like in Bend? What's the winter like in Central Oregon? Well, it's really not that bad. And you can see here, these houses that we're walking by, they're really well kept. The yards are well maintained. Right now, even the grass is kind of green, even in the dead of winter. So that's a pretty unique feature that Central Oregon has to offer. It's not just cloudy all the time like it is over in the valley on the other side of the mountains there. So what we're going to do now is cruise around this neighborhood, give you guys a feel for what it looks like, and then maybe just go take a look at another home or two that might be on the market right now. Most homes in this particular neighborhood range anywhere from, say, high 500s all the way up to maybe just under $1 million. But really, $1 million home in Redmond is very rare in comparison to $1 million homes that are plentiful in Bend. So value is key here. We're going to cruise around and we will see you at the next stop. So we made it to our next pit stop here. We're up in Cascade View Estate, still perched on top of this hill in southwest Redmond. And the sun is beaming down. I'm looking straight ahead at Broken Top right now. Just a fantastic view of the mountains. There is a lot of activity going on right now in the Central Oregon area in general. It has slowed down a little bit, but we're looking for 2024 to kind of pick up as rates maybe come down. But we're coming up on our second house here. So again, we're perched up on top of the hill. This home here was built in 1997. It's 1,900 square feet, 3-bed, 3-bath. It also has a 3-car garage. And so this home is currently listed at $609,000. Again, a true value play as it relates to where in Central Oregon you can live with the lifestyle that Central Oregon in general has to offer, but also where's the value. We're up on top of a hill. If we're up on top of a hill in Bend, like Overturf Butte or Aubrey Butte, we're looking at over $1 million for a home similar to this one here. And so again, value is the key as it relates to living in Redmond, Oregon. The median price point for a home in Redmond as of this recording is about $500,000, whereas in Bend, it's currently sitting at $730,000. So a significant difference, only 15 miles apart. Basically, Bend and Redmond are kind of one and the same. A lot of people live in Bend, commute to work to Redmond and vice versa. So there's thousands of cars every single day that will drive back and forth from Redmond to Bend and vice versa. And so this is basically the metropolitan area of Bend, Redmond, etc. So people in Bend will use amenities in Redmond and vice versa on a regular basis. But again, the value is really key here. And we have everything in Central Oregon right here in our back door. That Redmond, if living in Redmond is something that you're interested in. Let's see, from a personality standpoint, Bend a little bit more metropolitan, a lot of relocations from Southern California, Northern California, but we're getting a lot of that in Redmond too. Redmond is more blue collar, tends to lean a little bit more right politically, whereas Bend might be a little bit more neutral or slightly leaning left if that's something of interest to you. But if you're coming up here or coming down here, wherever you're traveling from to check out Central Oregon, it may be worth checking out Redmond as well, because there is such immense value living in the Redmond area as opposed to living in Bend. Some people just prefer Bend, some people prefer Redmond, but ultimately our goal with our channel here is to provide as much context as we possibly can, because Redmond truly is a gem, and it's in Central Oregon, right? So all the amenities, all the outdoor recreational opportunities still reside and still exist right here in Redmond. So what we'll do is continue moving through this neighborhood to give you some more perspective of it. See, if I pan over here, you might be able to see the mountains in the backdrop there. Just a very picturesque day here in late December. It's just truly rare that we get such great sunshine with warmer temperatures. It's 55 degrees right now. So typical daytime high this time of year is about 42, but we'll get these stretches of weather where it's 50 plus, sometimes 60 plus degrees. It's really not that bad. So let's get in the car, drive around some more, and maybe check out one more home, then we can wrap up the video. Okay, so we are making our final pit stop here on our tour today of Southwest Redmond here in Cascade View Estates. If we pan back here, we've got the final home on the tour here. This one's just kind of perched up on a hill at the end of a cul-de-sac, and it's listed at $950,000, just under 2,900 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath. You can see the separated garage there on a 0.42 acre lot. So this provides context. This home here in Bend, depending on the location, if it's up on Aubrey Butte or somewhere on the west side, we're probably looking at 1.6 to 1.8 million, maybe even a smidge higher than that, but we're sitting still under $1 million for a home like this in an absolutely fantastic neighborhood. Very, very well kept, slight HOA, but we're in a great location here. About 6 minutes to the airport. We're about a 5 to 10 minute drive to a lot of the shopping in the area, just up the hill from the Ridgeview High School, brand new high school, or 5 years old, and just a very, very desirable location here in Redmond. But I wanted to give you guys context of what Redmond's value really is as it relates to Bend. Remember, Redmond and Bend are one and the same as it relates to outdoor lifestyle amenities that Central Oregon has to offer. Redmond, to me, is a very cool town. I look at it as kind of like a grid system here. You've got Highway 97, it goes north to south right through the center of town. And then you've got 126, which goes right through the east to west. It kind of separates the top from the bottom, north and south. You got the east and the west. So there's 4 quadrants to Redmond. The vast majority of our population in the town of Redmond is going to be on the west side of 97. You can see here from the grid and the maps, there's a lot more construction and development on this side of Highway 97, which is very unique in that regard. But Redmond is just really growing up. There is so much going on, so much new so much new construction, and so much new development, and that's what's very, very unique. If Bend is growing at an alarming clip, the fastest growing area in the state, well, Redmond is right there with it. In fact, there are some years where Redmond probably grows at a higher percentage than Bend actually does itself. In fact, if we look over here at this article, I found this is pretty interesting. Bend, Oregon will be among the fastest growing cities by 2060. Now, I don't think we need to wait until 2060 to validate that. Bend already is one of the fastest growing areas. And what this article is actually, what represents Bend is actually Deschutes County. And so if we scroll down here, this is the entire country we're looking at too. This is crazy. So you got Bend, Oregon at number 7. And if you look over here at the population, 208,500, that's actually all of Deschutes County. So when people, or these articles like this, they say Bend, Oregon, what they're really saying is the Bend Metro. And what is considered the Bend Metro is all of Deschutes County, and Redmond falls right within that. So we're talking about Bend, we're talking about Redmond, we're talking about the entire Central Oregon area with this particular
statistic here, 208,000 people this year, and then we'll have 382,900 by 2060, which is pretty interesting. I think it's going to happen way faster than that, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But for this type of thing here, we have, Bend, Oregon, and the Deschutes County area, Redmond, number 7 fastest growing metro areas in the entire country. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, Redmond is right there in the thick of it. The airport's right here. There's 28 commercial flights on a daily basis. What you'll see here, you can see this runway. It points right to town. And so we'll have planes that fly overhead really low, like over Fred Meyer. The neighborhood's here, a lot of housing in this area. So if you don't like loud plane noise, then maybe, certain parts of Redmond may not be a good fit for you. But again, most of them will fly out to the east and try and go where there's less people. This way, this runway, that runway. But sometimes there's planes flying overhead here, taking off, as well as flying in from like North Seattle. I guess that's really the only northbound destination that we have, because Portland's been discontinued, which is interesting. So again, we'll have some fire bombers that fly out in the summertime, low flying, and they'll just do laps all day. If there's a fire in the state somewhere or in the Northwest, Redmond is a big hub, the airport here for refueling and getting ready to go fight those fires. But those planes, man, they're loud, and they just do laps on a daily basis. I mean, sometimes 10, 15. So if there's 28 commercial flights, you might have like 40 or 50 big old jets that fly in and out of the area on a daily basis in the summertime when there's like fires going on, which is a typical thing in the summer. So if we continue to look here at the southwest part or southeast part of Redmond, we have our Deschutes County Fairgrounds here. And so Redmond has the airport, has the fairgrounds. Pretty cool that they get to have that as their claim to fame. But again, Redmond here, this is unique. This is Highway 97. This is a stretch of the highway here in the city limits that is more or less just like, it's like a highway. A lot of semi trucks, a lot of businesses like on like the sides of this road here. So that is unique in the sense that it is like just a regular highway, and it used to go all the way through downtown even until I'd say back in 2005, 2006, in that range. That's when a parkway system was designed to go around the downtown area. This is downtown Redmond right in here. You can see the grid of the streets, but 97 used to go right through it like this. And so you'd have semi trucks going right through downtown. Not very attractive, not very appealing for businesses, people that want to live downtown, like to walk downtown. And so that all changed back in the early 2000s when it was rerouted around downtown. And so this is like a freeway right here, this whole stretch here, and there's really not a lot going on right on it. It's like a freeway, like I said. So you have some housing over here, you got some businesses up here, but mostly it's just like kind of a freeway, and there's really no like on-off exits. You just got to go all the way up here to the north end of town. If you missed a turn or something and you need to get back into town, you got to go all the way up here and then start over, like come down 6th Street, and that will take you through downtown. But that's cool that Redmond, the downtown area now, actually has more of a traditional style downtown. It's got the north, it's got the south roads, the 6th and 5th Street, which have become very attractive for businesses that want to have a downtown environment and a lot of foot traffic for offering their business, their products and services. So this is the downtown area. A lot of small little boutiques, a lot of great little restaurants, little brew pubs, things like that. That's what Redmond's really all about. And it's really, really come along over the last 5 years. It's just blown up a lot. In the last 5 or 10 years, it's pretty unique. What I like about it too is that like there's a huge, there's the residential neighborhoods are just right off of the area, the downtown area too. So very walkable area. Bicycle friendly area, very just a lot of character. People that live in this stretch of town just really take pride in it, and it's really obvious that they love this area of town where they live, and there's and that's for good reason. So if we were to continue, we'll zoom out a little bit. I want to show you guys a little bit about Southwest Redmond. And so what I've talked about in previous videos, we've got a pros video of Redmond. We talk about a couple of vlog videos, neighborhood videos of Redmond. We've got the southwest part of town here, where Ridgeview High School has just gone in. It's about 5 years old, so not just gone in, but it's been open since 2016, so about 5 years, just kind of on the city line here. But there is all kinds of development going on around here. And so I always say, like, when a new high school goes in, I've lived in Central Oregon long enough to have 3 different high schools that have gone in. Ridgeview's the second one. Summit was the first back in 2001. And then we just had Caldera High School in Bend just open up just this last year. And so what happens is, like, the development, just like the floodgates open, houses go in all over the place as a result of this new high school that's gone in, and this is no exception for this part of Redmond. It's going to really take off, and we've already seen that. You can see that in some of our vlog videos that feature neighborhoods in this part of town. Median home price right now is under $550, and that's it's gone down a little bit, and we're probably going to be creeping up, closer towards $500,000 per home, median home price in Redmond here pretty soon. A lot of people are in the market, but they're being patient. They're kind of waiting to see what happens. They're seeing houses that are staying a little bit longer and longer on the market than where they were a year ago, and so they're just being patient. They know that they're in more of an advantage state right now when it comes to buying than they were a year ago or a year and a half ago, when it was just such a frenzy and you just had to put the offer in the day you found out about it when it came on the market. This is not really the case now. And so the housing market in Redmond is stable, it's healthy, but it's a little bit slower than where it was, kind of correcting back to more of a normal state where it needs to be, kind of in the middle. You can't have it on the pendulum, like one way too extreme or the other way too extreme. And so that's the general state of the market, but that's to give Redmond some homage about that. It's going to be about 500,000 in that range, and it could dip a little bit below that. But we are certainly still in a seller's market, but we're creeping over towards more of a buyer's market in the current state of things. And so that bodes well for people that are in the market looking to purchase. So let's keep on touring the town of Redmond. One thing that I want to show everybody viewing the video today is where we're at here with Terrebonne. So Terrebonne is a little town just to the north of Redmond, and it is home to Smith Rock State Park. Smith Rock State Park is a world-renowned rock climbing venue for anybody who just loves the outdoors and loves doing things like this. And so, I would put this rock formation up against just about any in the West. It might not get the notoriety that some of the others do that are like in Zion or Bryce Canyon National Park, but this rock formation certainly is competing with all those. It just might not get the notoriety, even though we still get 800,000 people that visit. So it is famous. It's just not the most famous, but it's pretty cool to have it here in Central Oregon, especially since we're kind of known for like our bigger mountains that are over here, but we also have like some unique in the sense that Smith Rock State Park can be easily accessible, and it's just about a 15-minute drive from Redmond. So that is very unique. Redmond is kind of like, to me, it's like kind of the focal point, the centerpiece of Central Oregon. I know Bend is the biggest town and it's more famous and it gets more of the notoriety and the recognition, but the reality is like the airport's here and the fairgrounds are here. And so it's closer to Portland, it's closer to Eugene. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive to Portland. If you were driving to Portland from Redmond, you would take US 97, it turns into US 97 outside of town, and then you would eventually cross over to 126. If I can get this thing to stop, I would appreciate it. But if we're going to zoom out and we are going to look at where Redmond is in proximity to, say, like Portland, and some people will wind up actually driving to Portland to catch a plane, because we actually don't have a flight service from Redmond's airport to Portland. It just goes to Seattle and San Francisco. It's like our primary areas that we fly to on a daily basis, as well as a few others: Salt Lake City, Phoenix, LA, San Diego, Denver. There's a couple others. I think they're going to be adding, say, maybe Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago's kind of always been a regional one too. We go back into Redmond and we take a quick look at some of the other amenities that the town has. Redmond is, like I said, it's 36,000 feet, or 36,000 people, and at about 3,000 feet in elevation. Everything you need is in Redmond. Most people that live in Redmond prefer to live there as opposed to having to go to Bend. There's Bend, there's Redmond. They're two different personalities when it comes to the towns and the type of people that they attract. But sometimes people from Redmond that live in Redmond have to go to Bend for things. Costco's in Bend. There's more options for shopping, dining, etc. in Bend as opposed to Redmond. And so that's something that may be a negative, but it's really not that big of a deal. Of course, is there, as well as if we were to zoom out, what I want to show you guys too is the Dry Canyon. This is a very unique piece of landscape that goes right through the center of Redmond. It's really, really cool for people that like the outdoor amenities. Hiking, there is pickleball, there's tennis, there's an outdoor amphitheater, there is a dog park, off-leash park, there's all kinds of trails, dirt trails, there's paved trails. There is a skate park, there are kids' playgrounds. It's a 3-mile stretch of just this very unique landscape that you can't develop on it. And so they just developed around it. And so there's houses that are on the ridge line all the way up and down the entire canyon here. This is Maple Avenue here, but it provides a pretty unique vantage point. But what is cool is the fact that it goes right through town and it's been preserved, and it's just something that locals really love to take advantage of. And so you can see here, if we're looking to the north, we have trails there. If we pan around, you can see houses that are on the ridge there, and they go all the way down on both sides. But paved trails, dirt trails, all kinds of stuff. It weaves in and around, but it's a very unique area. We have that featured on a couple of our other videos regarding Redmond. We wanted to give you a better understanding of what Redmond's really all about, and it's one of the fastest growing towns in Oregon, and probably one of the fastest in the country from a percentage standpoint. But again, great place to live, a little bit slower pace than Bend, but still has all the amenities that Bend has to offer, minus a couple. But we also have the airport, we've got the fairgrounds, and we've just got, there's two new high schools, or there's a new high school, two total high schools. I mean, the town is really growing at an alarming rate, and so it's just a great place to live, much more affordable than Bend, but yet you get all access to all the outdoor amenities that Bend is so widely known for. Yet Redmond is just up the road, and it's a completely different way and pace of life for people that like a little bit slower pace of life, more rural pace of life, but yet you can still take advantage of all the outdoor attractions that Central Oregon has to offer. Today's video is going to be all about the reasons why a Californian who's relocating to Central Oregon should pass on Bend and choose Redmond instead. I put together a list. I got 5 distinct reasons why I think Californians should choose Redmond over Bend. We're going to be jumping into number 1. The cost of living in Redmond is significantly less than it is in Bend. Right now, you've got Central Oregon, right? You got the landscape, the mountains, Smith Rock, you got the lakes. Central Oregon. You can live out in Lapine or Sisters. You could live out in Terrebonne. Some people that are relocating from larger areas like California, they want a little bit of hustle and bustle, maybe a smidge. They need something, because everywhere they go in Central Oregon is going to be considerably smaller than where they came from, especially if it's from a big city. Redmond is a better fit from a cost standpoint, from an affordability standpoint. If you're from the Bay Area, if you're from LA or San Diego, and you're selling your home and you're relocating up to Central Oregon, Bend or Redmond, you have to decide, okay, you want value? Well, you're going to choose Redmond over Bend. Right now, the median home price in Bend is $750,000. Right now, the median home price in Redmond is under $525,000. So over $200,000 in terms of a difference for the exact same lifestyle that Central Oregon provides anybody that's relocating. You still get the same mountains, you still get the same lakes, you still get the same weather and climate, you get all that stuff. It's all the same when comparing Redmond to Bend. But what's the big difference? Well, the price and the cost of living. You can have fantastic mountain views of the Cascades in your backyard up on a hill in Redmond and pay $250,000 or more less in terms of price for that same home that would be located in Bend. So when people are relocating from the California area, they're looking for value. They don't want to just trade expensive place in California for next expensive place in a different state. Okay, you can do that. There's still some value to be had in Bend, but if you're looking for a real bang for your buck, a real value play, you're going to be looking at Redmond, only 15 miles apart from Bend. Why wouldn't you consider Redmond as opposed to Bend if you're looking to maximize the value that you're looking for in a relocation? You spend all that time living in the Bay Area. You spend all that time living in Southern California and paying and dealing with the traffic and the chaos of all that. Why not exchange that for real value? You can get some value in Bend, but you get real value if you consider Redmond as opposed to Bend when relocating from California. Reason number 2, why a Californian would choose and should choose Redmond over Bend. Costco. Okay, the new Costco is slated to open up any moment now. Okay, as of this recording, it's late September. We have an October 19th date slated for a brand new Costco opening up on the northwest side of town. In fact, it is so close to Redmond in comparison to the old Costco. The old Costco's on the east side of town. It's hard to get to. You got to go through city streets to get there. The traffic, the parking was horrible. The building was small and outdated. Now we've got a brand new Costco that's literally going to be right on the northwest edge of Bend. In fact, it might be easier to get to as a person living in Redmond than some people living in certain spots of Bend. I'm not kidding when I say that. You can hop on the Parkway in Bend if you can get to the Parkway, and if not, you're going to be weaving through traffic to try and get to the northwest side of town. Redmond, hop on Highway 97, and within 10 to 12 minutes, you're going to be right there where the Costco shopping center is. In fact, the north edge of Bend is now the premier area for shopping in all of Bend and Central Oregon. And Redmond people that live over there can probably get there and access it better than people in Bend can. So I kid you not, this brand new Costco is going to be 185,000 square feet, gas station. It's going to have a car wash. It's going to draw so many other businesses too. It's going to be crazy. This whole north end of town is where Home Depot is. It's Lowe's, it's Best Buy, it's Trader Joe's. Imagine the additional businesses that Costco attracts. So think of any other Costco where you like to go shopping, whatever town you're in. Imagine all those small mom and pop style businesses or those other bigger corporations, like the maybe In-N-Out Burger someday. Okay, Redmond, okay, that'd be easy to get to. We got Chick-fil-A on the north end already. So in terms of its location, Costco is going to be a real convenience for Redmond folk, because a lot of times people that do live in Redmond currently, the only reason they do go to Bend is because they got to go to Costco. And so the location is so inconvenient for people in Redmond right now that they end up going there once a month. Right now, if you live in Redmond, you're relocating from California, it's just a quick trip up the Parkway or Highway 97, and you're going to be in this very awesome just shopping area that is Bend, but it's going to be so close to you in Redmond upon your arrival. You're going to really enjoy the fact that you can be in a slower pace of Redmond, slower town, less traffic, all that stuff, but also be really close in proximity to all the shopping that Bend is known for and provides, while not having to go into the actual town of Bend if you don't want to. So Costco's location, what that's going to do for the north end of Bend is actually a huge benefit for Californians who are choosing to relocate to Redmond instead of Bend. Reason number 3 why a Californian should choose Redmond as opposed to Bend when it comes to relocation. Central Oregon is a high desert climate. We're at the foothills of the Cascade Mountains, but there are different flavors of Central Oregon once you get down the slope from the mountains. Okay, we got Lapine at 4,200 feet, Sun River 4,200 feet. You've got Bend at 3,600 feet. Some spots it's like 3,800 or 3,900 feet. Redmond is significantly lower. The further north you go, the lower you get in elevation. It's going to be at about 3,000 feet. So think about the snow accumulation throughout the course of a winter. Lapine and Sun River get substantial volumes of snow, and it sticks around at 4,200 feet. Bend gets some snow too, but it's nothing in comparison to the lack of snow that's in Redmond. Okay, Redmond will get snow, but it will go down and it will melt off significantly sooner than it would in Bend at 700 to 800 feet higher in terms of its elevation. So the climate is much more mild. Some Californians, we've had some people that have come in over the last 6 to 8 months, especially in the wintertime towards the end of the winter, and they decide, I'll come visit, but I ain't gonna live here, because it is so extreme in terms of the winter compared to where they were coming from in California. So if you want a little stepping stone into the Central Oregon lifestyle with the value and the slow pace of life and the outdoor amenities and the sunshine, but you want to deal with less of a severe winter, Redmond might be your best bet, because it's a great town with 40,000 people, plenty of amenities, plenty of things that it offers, but it also has significantly more of a mild winter. It's going to get some snow, it's going to get some ice, but it will warm up. It's generally a rule of thumb, it's going to be about 3 to 5 degrees warmer, maybe sometimes even more warmer per daytime high in Redmond than opposed in Bend. So that's something to consider too when it comes to relocating as a Californian to the Central Oregon area. You want a climate where you can adjust to. Redmond is very close to, say, the Powell Butte area, very close to the Prineville area. Those are all areas that have even more of a mild style climate in terms of its winter compared to Bend or compared to Sun River or compared to, say, a Lapine. But the snow accumulation is going to be substantially less in Redmond than it will be in Bend. So that's another reason why you as a Californian should opt for Redmond as opposed to Bend. Okay, reason number 4 why a Californian should choose Redmond to relocate to as opposed to Bend. Pretty simple, the outdoor amenities. the Mecca of Central Oregon, that Bend gets all this notoriety for, and Bend is nationally famous for having Mount Bachelor or having Smith Rock. Well, guess what? Redmond has it too. In fact, Smith Rock is way closer to Redmond than it is in Bend. So you have to drive through Redmond from Bend to get to Smith Rock. Okay, so why doesn't Redmond get credit for it? Well, it does, and it will continue to do so. You can still get to Mount Bachelor from Redmond with about 20 extra minutes of time, so it's really not that big of a deal. But Bend gets all this notoriety, but let's be honest, Central Oregon is Central Oregon. People want to figure out a way to get here. And if you want the real value play, the cost of living value coming from California, Redmond's your spot. Plus, it has access to all these outdoor amenities and Mecca type activities that otherwise Bend likes to brag that they have, but they're closer to Redmond anyway. Lake Billy Chinook. You love the lake life? Okay, Lake Billy Chinook's going to be north of Redmond, even further north from Bend by about 15 minutes. It's really close to Redmond. Smith Rock State Park is a fantastic, picturesque hiking area with these boulders that go up hundreds of feet. Reminds you a little bit of Yosemite National Park with just the verticality of these boulders. The Crooked River goes right through it. It's fantastic. Very good spot to go hike at least once a year. You got to go at least once a year. There's 800,000 people that actually go to Smith Rock and enjoy just the picturesque, the scene of Smith Rock, the Crooked River every single year. That's where Terrebonne is. That's where like the pumpkin patches are in the fall. That's where people from Bend all go to visit. You got to go through Redmond. It's closer to Redmond still, once again. Prineville Reservoir is another great lake out to the east. Powell Butte, Brasada Ranch, Juniper Preserve, all these things that Bend is known for. They're actually closer to Redmond. So location is fantastic. But again, if you want the Cascade Lake Scenic Byway, you want Mount Bachelor, you want Paulina Lake, you want Paulina Peak, all that stuff, sure, it's still in Central Oregon, but and you can still get there from Redmond, no problem. It's really not that far. So that's number 4. We're talking about the outdoor activities. Redmond has every opportunity to brag and boast about their outdoor recreational opportunities that Bend does. It's just Bend is a little bit older, more grown up, has a little bit more than notoriety. But Redmond has it too. It's fine. You can get anywhere you need to go from Redmond to other parts of Central Oregon in a very timely manner, and some of them are actually closer to Redmond than they are Bend. So literally no problem at all. You get the same outdoor activities, Mecca, all that stuff that Bend is known for, right in Redmond. So that's another huge advantage to choosing Redmond if you're a Californian looking to relocate. Okay, number 5. This will be the final reason today. I know, kind of a polarizing topic today. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get some comments there. I can't wait to respond to you guys. The makeup of Redmond, the central aspect of Redmond is number 5. It's kind of the hub of Central Oregon. I wouldn't be surprised if Redmond in 50 years is actually a bigger town than Bend. I wouldn't be surprised. The airport's already there. The fairgrounds are already there. It's actually closer in terms of a drive to Eugene or Salem or Portland. It's a little bit warmer of a climate. So all these things kind of add up. And as Redmond gets a little bit more in terms of its population and a little bit more traction, I mean, it could grow significantly faster. There's a lot of people that are actually in Bend trying to move to Redmond as well. So it's not just Californians, but let's be honest, this is kind of a joke in terms of kind of taking digs at Californians because it's such a polarizing thing. I mean, I'm sure that happens whatever town is getting a lot of influx of population. Let's just blame the Californians. But the reality is we've got people that are calling us from all over the world. We've got people all over the country, but we've got other countries too. People are reaching out to us looking to relocate to Central Oregon. Where is it? Well, Redmond is an absolute fantastic location. It's the central hub of Central Oregon. They've got the airport, they've got the fairgrounds like I touched on. The downtown is actually considerably improved compared to where it was just 15 years ago. The highway 97 used to go right through downtown. So imagine semi trucks that are trying to get to California from Washington State. They have to go right through downtown Redmond. As recent as say 2010. or 2012. I mean, that's silly. So Redmond's really growing up. It's catching up. The value play still exists. The new downtown, as the highway goes around downtown now, is absolutely more traditional. It's drawing so many more mom and pop shops, restaurants, things like that. Just a great little vibe down there. The Dry Canyon is a cool little park type thing. It's a 3 mile dry canyon. Go figure. But there, it's equipped with all kinds of trails in there. There's bike trails, there's hike trails, there's tennis courts, there's baseball fields, there's an off-leash dog park, among many other things and amenities. But it's something that Bend doesn't even have. It's this crazy, just canyon that goes right through the center of Redmond. But it's a great outdoor offering inside the city limits. So you don't have to go outside of town if you don't want to. So Redmond has absolutely incredible advantages over Bend when it comes to, say, relocating from California or Texas or Washington. It doesn't matter, okay? But it's a great spot, and it's something that you should absolutely consider, especially if you're looking for all the things that I listed here in today's video, especially with value. There's so much value to be had in Redmond as opposed to Bend, but there's still value in Bend as well. But hopefully this provides you some perspective. If you're watching this for the first time, we've had an influx of new viewers over the last couple of weeks, and so there's a good chance that you don't know a lot about Redmond yet. We want to put it on the map for you, so when you do reach out to us, you can at least present, hey, is Redmond going to be something that could be a fit for me based off the conversations that we have about you wanting to relocate to the Central Oregon area, whether it's from California, whether it's from Hawaii, whether it's from Arizona, Texas, or somewhere else. Again, we get calls from people all over the place, going as far east as the East Coast, up in the Boston area. We've got some people that have called us down in Central America as well. So again, it's not just Californians. We do appreciate you. We want to help you find the right spot the first time upon arrival. That's why we have these videos, and that's why we provide this the value of these videos is what's giving you the context to know kind of where you may want to go check out when you do arrive, so we can find you that spot the first time you get here, and then we can do a deal together. So anyway, my name's Ryan. I'm a licensed broker with eXp Realty. So thankfully you guys are watching. If you haven't done so, please like the video, subscribe, maybe drop a comment. This will be a really hot topic type video where we could get a lot of commentary in the comment section. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.